Hey y'all, just a quick rant about the S8 Plus. I had it. I had it for such a short time that I didn't even make a video of it. But I have to say I was so disappointed in that phone. I bought it outright for almost $900, and it was such a disappointment. I mean, for starters, the Bluetooth 5.0 that they bragged on, well, I didn't know that you had to have a Bluetooth 5.0 receiver to get that kind of distance. So that was a big disappointment because there aren't even any out yet. And when they are out, they'll probably be like $50 or $75, so more expense. I thought I could just use my existing hardware, but no. And then the Bixby button, I was able to remap it before Samsung sent that disabler thing. But it was hard to reach that Bixby button all the way on the side there. I mean, I was disappointed. It was cool that you could remap it to do 3 different things. Hard press, long press, soft press, double tap, whatever. But it wasn't what it cracked up to be. Then the camera, I'm sorry, but on my S6 Edge Pluses, my 16 megapixel camera, to me, except in low light, and I'm rarely in a low light situation. Mainly my picture taking is outdoors. I take pictures of my truck all the time, and flowers, and cats, and dogs, and mostly outside. And if I do go inside, I just figure out a way to use the flash and have it take a decent picture. I was not impressed with that camera. And of course, the way that they totally, I used to love Samsung so much because of their mission statement: throw everything but the kitchen sink into our software. And some people are going to love this and some people are going to love that. And my take on it is that, well, that's what made them so famous to begin with, because they didn't get famous from Samsung 2014 forward. They got famous from Samsung 2009 or 10 with all their Galaxies. And yes, they did milk that name for all it's worth, but it worked because people love their software. I mean, the only people that I ever really heard put TouchWiz down were the bloggers. And come on, they got to have something to gripe about. If people really love stock Android that much, would Samsung have sold like 1 billion phones in 5 years or whatever their numbers are? No. And so I was really disappointed with their new software or OS. They don't even call it TouchWiz anymore. It's called, I don't know what it is, but it's so minimalistic, that I can't find anything. And I used to like the way they color-coded and grouped their icons, and I could go right to what I needed. But now it's like I gotta search for everything, and everything is, I don't know. I'm just so disappointed in them because there's nothing about the S8 that you can't get in, the P10 or the Mate 9 or whatever phones are out there. The Mi Mix is coming out, and that's going to smack Samsung up and down the block because that phone is amazing. The Mi Mix 2 or whatever. And I'm not sure if that's the one without the bezel, but they're going to put Samsung to shame. So I just am so sad that Samsung has changed so much. And I saw the writing on the wall a couple of years ago when I left Samsung and went to LG, because I was like, Samsung is not listening to the people that made them who they were. They're listening to the loudmouths, and the loudmouths really didn't account for their, success, I don't think. Well, anyway, as a result of that, LG was fantastic when they did the Optimus Pro and the LG the Optimus G, I guess, or whatever that was called, and then the G2, oh my god. But then they also, like Samsung, went down all these crazy paths. So there's really no phone company that I can say is fantastic. The S8 Plus was just, to me, I had made a suggestion in the forum. This is what they should have done if they wanted to be the comeback kid and just, run circles around everybody. This is what they should have done. You heard it here first, folks. They should have made their S8 everything that it is, but at a $599 price point, and their S8 Plus at a $699 price point. And they should have included a Bluetooth 5.0 long-range earpiece that, had good audio, like DAC or whatever that stuff is, and they would have blowed everybody. Oh, and one other thing they should have done. They shouldn't make a glass back phone. I mean, what the hell? Nobody, you don't need that to make a beautiful, premium looking phone. I mean, I just bought the Exxon Mini 7 and I didn't keep it because it didn't work well with my Samsung Gear watch. Now I'm in their ecosystem and I'm kind of pissed about that because that's how Apple used to be and that's why I hated Apple. And now Samsung is, doing a lot of things like, yeah, you can use your Gear watch, but you're not going to get full functionality. You can't respond to messages. You can only get them. You can't control your music player and a handful of other things. And of course, I like having that. I love that about the watch. So that's disappointment. But anyway, the bottom line is that Axon 7 Mini was so beautiful. It was on sale at Best Buy for $199 and I bought it. And the sound on that thing, first of all, it does everything really good. It's got 3 gigs of RAM. The thing just flies through everything. It's a very minimal skin, but it's got a few, extra things in it that's really great. And I have to say, that phone was so beautiful. If Samsung would have, built something like that, all metal body, glass front, no fingerprints again, because I think that was Gorilla Glass 4. And I think with Gorilla Glass 5, the problem is that the more they try to make a screen unbreakable, the more polymer ratio they have to put in it. So it becomes more of a plasticky Gorilla Glass than a glass. And so it's more prone to fingerprints. And I don't know, I'm no scientist, but just from judging from using Gorilla Glass 4, like on my Galaxy S6 Edge Plus, that thing is so great with fingerprints. It's got Gorilla Glass 4. And I could wipe off the screen with fingerprints on it with my fingerprints. It was such a great oleophobic coating glass. But I do want to show you before I get off. I cannot believe I've been ranting and raving for 7 minutes. I'll probably get 1 thumbs up for this video, and that will be from, I never know how to say your name, but Bablui or whatever, Baba Booey, my #1 fan, Babalai. And you might like listening to me rant, but I just wanted to mention, my short experience with the S8 and show y'all my, and my A5, like I said, it was only like $200. It does everything. It's got a proximity sensor, so I can, just swipe it like that to get on. I just swipe it off. And you can see there's like no fingerprints. I've not, cleaned it since I got it. It's a really pretty rose gold color. I mean, it's a really minimal pink. It's just beautiful. And it matches so nice with my watch, my Gear, which I wish I didn't have to sign in every single time, but oh God. But you have to, because if you're going to have Samsung Pay, they don't want to know. Oh, come on. I want to show you my wallpaper. It matches my band and it matches, is that pretty? So it matches my band and it matches my phone. And I got it going on in terms of styling. Now, I don't have it going on in terms of the fastest phone, but I'm just going to wait and see what comes out. Right now, this A5 is, really all that I need. So I'm pretty excited about having it because I really was so disappointed with that S8 Plus. I almost cried. Anyway, thanks for watching, y'all. Take care. Bye. Hey, y'all. I'm back again because I just did want to show y'all that my S6 is still so beautiful. I don't know why I cared to show you that. It's not like anybody's going to run out and get an S6. But it's the best phone it's the best phone that Sammy ever made, ever, bar none. But why am I not using it? Because after I picked up the Axon 7, or I picked up the Axon 7 because after having the S8 Plus, I loved the way that the phone was more narrow, and the S6 Edge is pretty wide because it's kind of old school. So I got this one, and it's, the best of both worlds because it's still a 16.9 aspect ratio, but it's thinner And it's just so beautiful with that rose-colored gold, and it's so nice in the hand, and I just love it. I wish it were a little higher powered. Now, I could have gotten the A5 2016, because I'm now all of a sudden I'm into these 5.1 inch phones, when last year they were just too small. There was no way I could even do a 5.5. It had to be 5.7, but I guess things change. So I did just want to tell y'all though that I can't get over how beautiful that is. But anyway, I did want to tell y'all that another that ZTE brand is just, I mean, I love them since the ZTE Max. I couldn't get over what a great company they are. And if they would ever just come to America, like they did with the Axon Mini 7 that I just had, that got LTE bands and everything. And the only reason I returned it, because it was the most beautiful phone, was that it had, it didn't work well with my watch. So I was even thinking, well, I'll just get another watch, you know, but I hate Android Wear. It just is terrible. It's just a mess of notifications. With my Frontier watch, I just get a couple of Gmail notifications, messages, and phone calls. That's just what I want. But when I tried to do that when I was on Android Wear, I couldn't. I mean, there was like so many issues, and I just hated it. So I don't know what I'm going to do. I know I'm going to stick with this for a while because it's such a nice phone. Look at that. It's beautiful. Oh, it's so nice. But I also want to say that Huawei, they're also, I was looking at that 6X, and I probably would have got that too, but I think it was only 720p, and I love the way that, it's so weird because I'm not really an Apple fan, but I love the way that Emotion UI, it's like using Apple, which the good things about Apple, I've always loved their OS, but it's too limiting. So you have Android, but you have the visual of iOS. So that's pretty cool the way they do that. But really, I just wanted to say that I really wish that Samsung would make a phone without a glass back. If they made it made out of metal, or if you even look at the, I want to say it's the P10 in the blue color. It's got some kind of like metal back, but it's rubberized metal, if that's possible. And I mean, all these different backs would be so much nicer, because you get this expensive as hell phone, and within minutes it looks terrible. When I saw the black one in the box, I was like, oh my God, it's so pretty. I got it thinking, well, I'm going to put my little hook on it right here, you know, that I always do. And that way it's not going to get many fingerprints. But guess what? It got many fingerprints, even though I hardly ever touched it. So within a day or day and a half, I was like, this has to go. I mean, I just can't believe that in 2017, with all that Samsung's been through, that they could not figure out how to make a phone that's made out of metal, that's not $900, and that, you know, is like, I don't know, they lost me. So that's all I wanted to say. I'm not trying to hate on them or nothing, because, you know, I've probably always been their biggest fan. But I did just want to say that really you should check out those Huawei phones and ZTE, and keep your eye out, because if they ever get picked up by carrier, they're going to be the new Samsung. So that's it. Thanks for listening. Bye, y'all.